Welcome to Newcastle, I'm Michael.
I'm Craig, and in 2014 we're going to spend 1 year volunteering in Curitiba, Brazil. This video is to explain a bit about the Lions Row project in Brazil. We explore our home city of Newcastle upon Tyne, our previous journeys and our background experience.
I'm Michael Gardner and I'm 21.
I'm Craig, I'm 23 from Newcastle.
My name's Mark Oliver.
I'm Les Heslop.
I currently work for the Hattrick Project.
Currently I work as a sports coach at Sport North Tyneside.
I work for Street Games, but I also manage Westgate Lions Row Football Club.
I'm a city guide for Newcastle upon Tyne, but my full-time job, I work for an English language school in Newcastle International House.
I heard about a guy called John Burns who had a vision to mobilise football fans, and I thought that sounds right up my street, so I went to meet him. We had a chat in Teesside and I instantly kind of fell for the vision that John had and wanted to get on board, so I arranged to have 15 places on the trip to South Africa in 2010, and at the time I was managing Hattrick.
Hattrick is a community football organisation who work with clubs, they work in the community, they work in schools. Basically we try to use football for good for some of the most hard to reach kids that are in Newcastle. There's
problems with crime or petty crime, and there's also drug problems, so I think that the projects that would start is to really look to make social inclusion and just have like a community that's doing well for itself and wants to change, or just wants to provide a good community spirit, and that's sort of the main thing, going out there and maybe just helping them achieve that through the experience that we've got in the past.
The main bit of our work was going into work in a young offenders institute where the young people had been kicked out of mainstream education, and again football was used with them as a way of putting across life skills such as dealing with conflict and dealing with disappointment and how to handle defeat and challenge and things like that.
I was reading the local newspaper. I noticed an article about Project Curitiba in it, and I contacted Craig and Michael from that. That's how I first got to know about the programme.
I started volunteering through the North Tyneside Street Games project.
Street Games is a national charity who use doorstep sport as a way of engaging youth.
Through that, I was offered the opportunity to go to Poland for Euro 2012.
One of the highlights of the Polish trip was a day that we went out to a school and we went into a sports hall. We were told to expect around about 15 to 20. 5 minutes later there were about 75 young people in the sports hall. It was a chance for our 4 young volunteers to think on the feet. So the sessions that Michael and Craig and the others put on were tremendous. They had them on a rotation system, they were working with them, they were communicating well with them, they were doing mini games. That, you know, they used their initiative. By the end of the session they were like mini celebs, and they had all these schoolgirls and schoolboys crowding around them saying, sign me football shirt, sign me photograph, can I have my picture taken with you, etc. It was absolutely brilliant, and I think that was just a little look into the power of football and into how being a positive role model you can impact young people.
Sport is a medium which transcends politics and wealth and things like that, and I think it's a really good idea for the guys to be given their time up to go out to a region where there are a lot of poor children, and I think that the work they're going to do, teaching them English and through sport, will make it enjoyable, and I'm really fully behind it.
As part of our fundraising for 2014, both Michael and I are going to be taking part in the Great North Run.
To the right here we have the Tyne Bridge. Every year in autumn, over 50,000 people run across this bridge, taking part in the Great North Run, the world's largest half marathon.
Our fundraising includes hosting Brazil Days. The Brazil Days will be in local schools around Newcastle and North Tyneside. The aim of the day is to introduce music, sport, culture and language to pupils and the school, with a link with International House.
You may have heard of the football team Newcastle United, who play in the black and white stripes, but we all know of course that the best football teams in the world come from, in fact, Brazil.
One of our biggest fundraising challenges up to now was the Ben Nevis fundraiser. Ben Nevis is the highest mountain in the British Isles. Me, Craig and a group of volunteers who also fundraise for our cause tackled the mountain in February, which was a winter walk. 7.5 hours altogether it took to get to the summit and back down. We managed to raise £1,500 for our charity Lions Row to help provide sport provision and English lessons in the communities of Curitiba.
On Sunday the 2nd of June we've got a Road to Brazil football tournament. This tournament is an opportunity for teams to play matches, watch the England-Brazil friendly afterwards and have a bit of food and just generally have a good time. Each team who takes part will be contributing 16 hours to the Project Curitiba and the Lions Row work going on in Curitiba.
My name's Richard. I'm one of the official tour guides here at St James's Park, and if you just look to the top of the family enclosure, which is in the Milburn stand, that is the highest point of any one stadium in the UK.
One of my favourite managers in Newcastle United in recent times, the great Sir Bobby Robson.
Okay, this is the Castle Keep behind me. This is where the city gets its name from.
We're currently at St Mary's Lighthouse in North Tyneside, which you can see behind us over here.